Hi everyone, my name is Adela Reiland, and for my out-of-the-box idea, I want to integrate the creation of a newscast that is continual and ever coming out with more stories, updated stories, specifically into the social studies section of my classroom. I know that newscasts are very popular, so it may not seem out of the box. I remember being in 5th grade and we would use newscasts to talk about the lunch for the day, what the menu was, what the weather was like, so what we could expect at recess, any special things happening at the school. So I know that newscasts are popular, but I don't see them utilized very often within the classrooms themselves. So that's the beginning of how I believe this idea is out of the box, but there's more to come on that later to make it a little bit more extended and a little bit more something more genuine and different than what we've seen before. I do want to credit, though, I had an idea about a newscast, but I wasn't sure what that might look like. So then upon doing a little bit of research and seeing has this been utilized before, I found a really great article from TESOL Connections, the website, and they validated the use of this type of practice within the classroom and how it's good for ELLs and our English language learners. So it has been utilized before. And it is a practice that is safe to go ahead and give a go, and it should be a strong predictor to helping students have a little bit of real action in trying to utilize that language they're learning, and in a fun way that helps reiterate the content they've learned. So there's a lot of benefits to it. So the reason that I chose social studies specifically is because I've seen that STEM and ELAR are really hit on in the classroom, and a lot of times social studies is kind of swept under the rug. So I want to verify that even if there isn't a STAR test that makes it a little more pertinent in the teachers' minds, that this gives us a reason to come back to social studies and make sure that we're still focusing on this subject as well. So the procedure of what this may look like. Let's say that as a classroom, we are learning about the American Revolution. That's our overall topic. And we've gone through, we've watched the videos, read through the textbooks and the activities and the worksheets and all of that jazz. So we have a good understanding as to what this looks like, but now we need to kind of summarize it all together. So just like our our final stage of blooms, our synthesis, our creation stage, we need them to create something to show that they really have this knowledge down and that they're understanding of it. So the procedure will look like, we will supply them with their objectives. So our objectives can look like, I can create a script that summarizes a historical event. This is from grade 5, section 25, specifically letter D for this one, but really A through E are encompassing of the whole procedure of creating a newscast script. And then for our ELLs, we have, I can verbally express the importance of a historical event. This is from your ELLs, section 3, letter E, and this one talks specifically about sharing information through collaborative work, which is what we're going to do. So procedure will look like, we have learned about all of this information, so then we split our students into groups. These groups need to be heterogeneous in the ways that you have students who are proficient in English, you have students who are maybe beginners in English, and then you have some in-betweens as well. So there needs to be a range because they are going to be working together to write these scripts. So you can discuss what does it look like, what is the most, let's say that in one group they're learning about the Battle of Gettysburg, in another group they're learning about Yorktown, another group's talking about Paul Revere. So each group will have a different topic that's important that they'll be working on, and then within the groups they'll be determining, okay, what's really important about Paul Revere? What do we really need to share about him? They'll gather some information and then they'll write their script. You can spend time editing this with them so that they can get a really good, strong script, maybe work on some other grammar skills and things along the way. And then you can also include those TEKs that talk about the editing and revision of work. So you'll get to include a lot of TEKs within this particular format. But that's what the process will look like. So then they have their scripts, it's been read through, finalized, and revised, and the teacher has given the okay. So then they go ahead and they give out their parts. So maybe they have newscaster 1 and newscaster 2 who are going to sit here and say breaking news. And then maybe they have a field reporter who's out on the field and maybe he himself gets to talk to Paul Revere. So you can have, the students can be really creative how they want to present this. They can take different roles. Maybe the reporter on the field doesn't have as much to say, but he can ask questions. So maybe that's for a beginner ELL. Something along those lines. But you set this up in a reader's theater style. They practice it a couple of times. They get very comfortable with it, and then they can film. The best part about this is that they have the flexibility to make a mistake and have zero stress about it because they can just stop the video and redo it. So it's not anything live that really puts them on the spot, but it's something where they can do this a couple of times and then they'll get to practice even more, practice verbally speaking, practice reading that work. So I think it's a really great opportunity for them to attempt this language without having to be too concerned about making a mistake. And so then why does this pertain to ELLs? So we've talked about how you're going to have a span of the acquisition. We talked about the Reader's Theater aspect of this. And then my favorite part about this is that, and what makes this really out of the box, is the parental involvement. I would want to take these videos and within an Instagram account where it's only the parents that are following this account, then we can share these newscasts that they've made into this Instagram so parents can see what's going on in the classroom. Maybe the parents can be someone who the students interview for 1 or 2 videos, but it really is a way to involve the parents as well. So that's my idea. Open to any suggestions that you guys have, and take care.